Hi! Greetings to all of you. I had hoped that I would be with you in person, but that just hasn't worked out. I would have been the oldest at 97 in this generation. I'm picturing you all in the banquet room at Turkey Run, and I think that you've already had some time at the farm with memories of the farm with Jeff. Now it's my turn to have the away from the farm memories. And so I'm going to take you on a joyride with the Joy Gang. The characters in the Joy Gang are the 6 siblings, Castle siblings, and their spouses, and a cousin, Jack, Clerk, and Dora. So I got to start back in the 80s, when the beginning was when Charlotte decided that she would move from Illinois down to Mesa, Arizona, to the desert country for the warm weather. Shortly after that, Gwen and Keith decided that they would go there every winter, and so they rented an apartment near Charlotte, and they had some wonderful times together. At some point, they decided to invite Dora and Jack to come from Los Angeles over to Mesa, and they would have a week together. Well, this is when we got this photograph in the mail, and it's a picture of the 5 of them having high tea at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Phoenix. And in the picture, Keith has his farmer's cap and his John Deere cap on, but he's holding this delicate teacup, and his little finger is crooked. It was a riot, and we said, we've got to go and be a part of this. And so so we went the next winter and had this glorious time. From then on, every year, as people were able to retire, it grew and grew until there were 13 people. I think I understand for 7 years with Charlotte as our hostess. About the same time, David created his Joy Gang. Now, he had this little card, and he would go up to a person and he'd say, "Would you like to be a member of the Joy Gang? Well, it's free, it don't cost a thing, but you have to agree that you will spread joy." Well, that was no problem with our 13 people, and so we became known as the Joy Gang. It occurred to us that we were asking Charlotte to do a lot of the hostessing, that we could share that and that people could come to our homes. So for many years, we went to each other's homes. We went to Jack and Dora's outside of Los Angeles in California. We went to Fred and Dorothy's Emu Farm in Texas. We went to David and Ellie at the Koinonia Farm in Georgia, and to Shirley and Jim's watching sunsets on the Gulf in Florida. And this, I'm not sure how many years we did this, but eventually it became too cumbersome, and we were kind of, we've been there, done that. What could but we still wanted to meet. So it was somebody's brilliant idea that we try here's my senior moment, elder hostel, that we try an elder hostel. Okay, so the first elder hostel was in San Antonio, Texas, and it was great. I mean, you just pay your money and you show up and they take care of everything. And there was still time for us to be together as a group, and had some wonderful, memorable tours. I think we had 6 elder hostels in various parts of the South for a week in the winter. The capstone of this was in 2008, when we went to Costa Rica, and this is my very favorite meeting of all. In World War I, conscientious objectors went to Costa Rica and formed a Quaker community to avoid the draft on the top of a mountain. They called it Monteverde, and that community grew. It became a famous dairy farm, famous cheese, and I'd always wanted to go there and check that out. When we discovered that a friend of ours, a Quaker pastor, led tours there, we signed right up and we all went to Costa Rica, all 15 of us, because for the first time we included somebody from the generation below us. That was Rob Castle and his friend. Well, that was really a neat thing. These strong young people, they carried our luggage. They walked with us over the volcano lava, over the swinging bridges in the rainforest. And it was an exceptionally wonderful time we had together. And it was a good thing, because the next year things changed. We lost Bill, we lost Shirley, we lost David. And so in 2008, there was no Joy Gang meeting. But the next year, those that were left decided they still wanted to meet. And so they went to the final elder hostel, but there were only 8 of them, and it just was not the same. So that was the last time we were together. From then on, we enjoyed meeting each other at family reunions and at funerals. You may want to ask, how in all those years did you keep that spirit growing in which we wanted to come? We loved it. We always had a great time. We would leave feeling inspired and grateful and joyous. I got a clue when one day we were standing in a line to get into the women's restroom and talking and laughing. And the lady that was in the line said, what are you people up to? And we told her about the week we had together. And she said, you mean you've been together all week and you're still talking to each other? And we said, well, of course. And it made me stop and think, what was it that was so special about our getting together? And I think part of it was that we never had any disagreements. I can't remember any time when we made a decision of where we were going to go, what we were going to do, what we were going to eat. Whether it just happened easily. It was not like we were relatives getting together. It was more like we were really good friends that loved being together. And we were very fortunate in that in all those years, there was never an accident, never a crisis, not serious health problems. We were really, really blessed. So here you are today. You've given your time and you've given your money to come to a state park for a weekend. I remember one time I said to a friend that I was going to a family reunion, and she said, "They still have those things?" And I said, "Oh yes, and they're great." So us being able to be together is really getting quite rare, and we don't want to take it for granted. In the future, I have 2 or 3 things that are on my mind that might help us in the future. The first one is family is awfully important. When you get an article that tells you how you're going to manage this crazy world, in the list will always be stay close to your family. And to stay close to the Castle family means that you get support, you get help. And although no family's perfect, we know that our roots are deep and we can count on each other. So I encourage you always to keep on getting together. It'll change with time, and stay connected. Just like Joanne, she keeps us informed about weddings and funerals and more births than I can ever keep up with. Thank you, Joanne. Keep it up and keep joy flowing. The other thing is, there's some kind of a spirit that's hard to explain that seems to be present when we get together. I think it started with Ruth and George. Um, they were examples of very generous hospitality. They accepted all of us and made us all feel special. They supported us when we were doing with whatever we were doing, whether they approved of it or not. And of course, their own lives were a sample of wonderful Quaker living. So I just want to, on behalf of the original Joy Gang, I want to wish you a future that is full of those kinds of values that bring joy, and that you, in your lives, you will have lots and lots of joy. And I leave you with this old Quaker blessing. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you lead you all the way on. Amen. God bless you, everyone. Amen. That's it.